I understand that you asked how to police our communities, and in the wake of the ACLU's lawsuit with the police department in terms of mental health and the reality that housing, failed housing enforcement, as well as the public safety concerns, is what brings the Republicans to our doorstep. I'm concerned at what your approach will be to do something different, because I'm concerned that your standards are not high enough for what we need so we can get out of this. And while I want to support what you're saying, I'm just concerned that you guys think you have the answer and you're throwing numbers around, but our citizens are actually stuck to live with your failures, and that's not to be mean, it's to be real. You are in court with a lawsuit that says that you are not to be showing up as mental health advocates from the ACLU. So that should be a strong signal that there's something lacking in your policing understandings that is helping you to respond to our citizens and our community in a way that we can get the kind of results we need. And Mr. White, in terms of your mentor program, if we don't create enforcement of policies and investment in root cause solutions, many of these young children are in households that are in trouble. And so I am concerned about your standards when you talk about bringing solutions when we actually find ourselves facing losing our city because of our failures in public safety and our failures in housing.
So just briefly, the Metropolitan Police Department cross-trains its officers as crisis intervention officers through training. That is training for awareness of folks that are going through mental health crisis. That does not make the Metropolitan Police Department a social worker. It does not make them a therapist. It does not make them a psychologist or a psychiatrist, right? There is a Department of Behavioral Health that we partner with. That is the main agency tasked with mental health here in the District of Columbia.
You're absolutely right, and there are a host of community organizations that are not fortunate to be in those circles of cliques when the money's passed out.
I don't have any control.
No, I know you don't, but I'm asking you to take it back to the fold, because you don't have to do it alone. But you do have to let qualified people in, and showing up with a gun on your hip is not going to make you qualified to help someone, because when your solutions run out, you have your gun, and we don't have the luxury of continuing to lose life. So you're going to have to do something different.
Yeah. Go ahead, girl.
Council member, this is, so I was, I'm down live here, Ward 7, Ward 8. Grew up here as a child. I lived in Ward 4. Matter of fact, I succeeded you in Wrightwood as ANC commissioner when Karan Hinton was killed. And I'm disturbed, of course, with what the end result has been. But I'm concerned about the hiring and the retention of officers and council members, specifically you, who are not from here, who have come from a different culture and haven't been acculturated to the people they're policing. And I'm disturbed at the police union that will defend police malfeasance. So, in your passion and compassion for the folks you command, I want to know what the answer is to hiring and retaining people from here. I heard you mention young man Khalid Barnes. Well, young people that age ought to be in your academy. They should be, it's just a suggestion. But I worked very hard to see that man prosecuted. And to see Darren Sutton walk around with the defense of the police union when he clearly violated our policy. And even our no chase law doesn't have a penalty at the end of it. And I worked very hard with Janice Lewis George, whom I ran against. But she's done a wonderful job representing the folks in Ward 4. But the end result is we have these same folks don't want to get out of the car, folks don't want to talk to your officers. If somebody called me boy, I ain't gonna get a good conversation. So I want to ask you about how do we train young people from here, and how do we retain people from here instead of hiring and doing the search like the mayor did out from Buffalo Egypt and bring them in your district.
Thank you, Perry, for those comments. Let me respond to part of your question that has to do with the council, and it's an important part. Our cadet program is the program that trains young people from the District of Columbia to join the police officer. We had a long-standing program in the fire department. The mayor has expanded that program. Mayor Bowser has expanded that program. Can I just see a show of hands of folks who would like to see more young people in that program, more young people from DC into the DC Police Metropolitan Police Department cadet program? All right. All right. Hands down, hands down. Can I see hands of people who do not want to see an expansion of the cadet program? All right, I'm information, I'm always learning when I'm in the community as well. So the council has funded the expansion of the cadet program at the request and recommendation of the mayor. I don't know what, again, budgets are going to be tight, but let me go back to my colleagues and talk about what it would look like to expand the cadet program, because that piece is important. On the retention piece, I can't say a lot about that because I've not worked inside the department. There are some concerns I have. I do share your concern about the end result of Officer Sutton and two other officers, but I'm not going to. Well, I believe the cadet program is at capacity, so it's not an outreach problem right now. But let me go back and look at what expanded capacity and then getting more people from the city into this program.
Thank you, Councilman. So yes, the Metropolitan Police Department has a cadet program that employs 17 to 24-year-olds.